Welcome back. Well, if you are looking for all of the elements for a successful classroom or school-wide IT management, look no further than NetSupport. I tell you what, Kyle, very impressed with this because you do offer a whole solution. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So NetSupport Incorporated, we've been in the market education space now for roughly 20 years. And primarily we were with the classroom management space, so providing educators with the tools to manage all that diverse range of technology in the classrooms, whether it's Windows, Chrome, Android, iOS devices. And then we've now expanded that to also include school-wide IT management. So not only the traditional ITAM tools, the inventories and software distribution tools, but uniquely also our whole internet safety and student safeguarding toolkit.
And something like this really changes every day, doesn't it?
It does, and obviously we're in a challenging or an interesting world right now with lots of adverse and external influences in schools and with kids, and so we have to be ahead of the game and provide those tools that protect children when they're using technology, which is such a large focal point of their life now, and provide educators with easily accessible tools to perform that safeguarding role.
Now, as you discussed, you really offer a whole school district solution. In the classroom, what are we looking at?
Yep, so in the classroom, obviously schools make a significant investment in all those new shiny devices, and those devices are changing on an annual basis. Obviously in the last few years you've seen a very large increase in Chromebook rollouts. Obviously Windows continues to evolve, as well as the iOS and Android platforms, and so for us we need to provide a platform agnostic solution, so it doesn't matter the type of platform or operating system. We want to provide one solution that has one learning curve to be used to obviously address all those different challenges from the different platforms. And that's what we do with NetSupport School, the classroom management software. And in essence, that really is just giving the educators the ability to not just monitor, it's not just a big brother type affair, it's also how best to collaborate and leverage the power of that technology to get more out of instructional-led technology.
So from there, you also have the solution for the entire school district. Yeah. And what does that include?
Okay, so it was a natural progression for us to obviously expand out from the classroom and provide the technology teams in the districts the tools, again, from a central perspective. And obviously in the US particularly, you have very large districts, you have technology teams who may not be in the same location as the school and the devices they're managing. So we provide them with that centralized management tool that allows them to go out and dynamically discover all the assets and endpoints throughout the district. Not just hardware, but also software. So it's important in this cost-conscious age to look at all of their investment in software, in licenses, and making sure that A, those investments are being fully utilized, B, they're being used by the right people for the right purposes, and we give those tools to the technicians to do that. But of course, it's not just about financial reasons for saving money now. It's obviously the big issue is student safeguarding. You know, we live in a world where whilst the internet and the digital world has a wealth of information and value, but it also has some challenging and some more negative connotations to it. And so we need to make sure that if we give the students and the kids access to technology that they need to provide a rich learning environment, but we have adequate tools in place to safeguard them without being overly restrictive. In the past, perhaps problems have been with schools where they say, let's just block the internet completely, or let's just provide a very restrictive, controlled list of sites that they can access. And that's fine, but the problem number one with that is that it moves the problem off-site, to somewhere perhaps where kids aren't being monitored, there aren't people trained to help the children, but also it restricts their ability to access that wealth of information, which they need. So we say, look, let's give them the access. Kids will be kids, they'll explore, they'll push the boundaries, but let's give them that in an environment where it can be controlled, they can be proactively identified if they are straying off topic, and then obviously give people the tools, the technicians and the staff the tools to bring them back on topic in a safe and controlled manner.
So there may be an alert that goes out that little Jimmy in classroom B is maybe out here, and we'll go talk to Jimmy and kind of bring him back into the fold.
Exactly. So what we have is within the product, we have a whole repository already built in of, I think currently about 9,000 search terms and phrases of very questionable subjects and topics, very colorful phrases. And they range from, unfortunately, drugs to racism to sexual predation, cyberbullying issues. And so the system is scanning the network, looking at all that typed digital content, and if it looks and identifies a search word or a phrase from our repository, then it flags an alert to a nominated or a trusted member of staff who then is trained to expedite that concern and follow it through the process. And what we'll also do is to remove the need of, or the problem of false positives, is quite cleverly we're looking at the contextual issue there. So we're looking at the context, where was that search term applied, in what type of application? Because if it was in a PowerPoint presentation then, and you saw a word about drugs or something of that nature, it might be for a school project. So you want to remove that false positive. If it's more of a search term in a browser, then of course that raises a concern, and you can set different severity levels. If it's a search phrase within a browser, it's a severe issue, and then it gets escalated to a nominated member of staff, a counsellor or someone who's properly trained, not just a technician perhaps, and then they could take the necessary steps, but track those steps. It's important that any concerns that are raised obviously are identified, are logged, and then are tracked through to completion, where you take the necessary corrective measures or counselling measures.
That's amazing. So we have a company who really has their finger on the pulse of hardware and software, what's available out there for the school districts, and a company that's really helping us monitor where the kids are going, bring them back in safely. And with that said, right now, I know you have to have the attention. All of our viewers out there, what's the best way for districts to learn more about NetSupport?
Sure, well, by all means, visit the website, so www.netsupport-inc.com. And from within that, you'll see the various links to the other sub-sites for NetSupport DNA and NetSupport School. Those are our primary tools for the education space. And obviously on that website, you'll see obviously lots of customer testimonials. We have videos explaining the functionality. Obviously contact us via email at education@netsupport-inc.com, and we can set up a webinar, a personal presentation, or come and visit us at an event like this.
Easy enough. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.